It's jack-o'-lantern scarfy season, which of course could only mean 1 month, and that is the month of October. And we are here, October 2010. Now, we have really turned the corner on the seasons, and the garden is really slowing down, but it's still very nice out here. And you can see that Molly's got her jack-o'-lantern scarfy on also, and the mums are starting to come in full bloom. They look great, but although it looks pretty light on the video itself, it's dark enough out here that we've started lighting tiki torches when we come out, because usually we're here until after it starts getting dark. But let's move along here with the tour and start with chives. You can see I've laid down hay mulch back here in no man's land, and that kind of sets the chives off so you can see them a little bit better. This used to be corn. There's some pumpkin vines left here, but there's not much in the way of pumpkins except for one surprise that I'm going to show you in a little bit here. This is all beans. Lima beans, which were pretty sparse this year, I think because they were under the shade of the corn, are red noodle yard longs, which are finally slowing down, but I did harvest a bunch of them just yesterday, along with a bunch of green beans, and they're still coming in, but they also are slowing down, and the first frost is going to do them in. And you can see the sweet potato bed. This sweet potato bed is starting to yellow a little bit. I'm going to leave it until the first frost actually kills everything off to then find out what might be underneath. Molly's pretty excited about what might be in the grass there. Look at that tail going. And we cleaned up the pet memorial area a little bit, so that looks a little nicer. Everything looks a little nicer back here. But let's move on to bed number 2, and we've got Brussels sprouts still hanging in there, although they look a little floppy. And we also have the rest of the brassicas doing pretty well. These nice little Caraflex, I think is the name of these cabbages, and these are nice little heads. I kind of like them, and I've been using them in mostly in sandwiches, and they've been great. Everything else around here is hay mulch. The leeks are done for. I did finally do my potato leek soup, which was absolutely delicious, and I'll do some potato onion soup a little later on. These are beets, and they're looking pretty good. There you can kind of see one under there. And there's another couple right there. And then these are carrots, fall carrots coming in. Looking pretty good. Wait a minute. There's another one down there someplace. Anyway, they're going to be good, and they will be safe after the first frost. And here's our 2 rows of fall lettuce, also coming in pretty good, as well as our fall radishes. And they're not bulbing up yet, but they're pretty healthy. Healthy enough to be sneezed at, right, Mom? You betcha. Alright, so as we continue on, marigolds, of course, are still doing wonderfully all over the place, maybe a little too wonderfully. And here in bed number 3, we also had some lettuce, spinach, which is, again, struggling. And one more Caraflex cabbage here, and probably my last head of broccoli for the season coming in and looking just about ready. Now here's the fall planting of peas. The last time I tried this, I got lots of pea plants, but I didn't get any blooms or any pea pods, so we'll see what happens this time around. And this is going to be our winter beets. These will probably just stay in the ground all winter, and I'll just come out every once in a while and grab 1 or 2 when I can. This used to be the first bed of sweet potatoes, which was suffering from rodent damage, and there was a lot of rodent damage when I pulled them out. It was very discouraging. However, I also ended up with a good 10 pounds of sweet potatoes out of the deal, so that's really not so bad considering how much damage I had. Those dead tree-looking things are okra; they're done for. And the peppers, I just went in and harvested every single pepper I could find, because if I wait until the first frost, it'll destroy the peppers. So I've got a nice bag of peppers inside that I need to freeze. And I also harvested all the rest of the hot peppers. This used to be tomatoes. They're all done for, and the hay mulch is down. That's a tiki torch. Just something that's kind of fun to do when it starts getting dark early, as it does in October. And you can see marigolds are all over the place. In fact, these two beds, which used to be squash, and all the squash is gone, the summer squash and the winter squash. Got a nice harvest of winter squash and racer pumpkins. But the nice thing about having marigolds is that they stick around after everything else is done. So it's pretty nice to have all this nice color in the garden, even though these beds are totally done for. And we have been able to start reclaiming the perimeter here, which used to just be all tall grass. I don't know if you remember last time. Meanwhile, let's talk about pumpkins. This is the lesser pumpkin patch, and that is a bliss pumpkin. And these are the only winter squash pumpkins I haven't harvested yet, because although they seem to be struggling all season long, they are still coming in. So I guess I'm going to wait till the first frost to see if some of these guys can make it, and maybe I will get a few bliss pumpkins out of the deal. But that brings us to an interesting place. That's where the big guy used to be. So what, you say, happened to the big guy? Well, last weekend was Pumpkin Move Weekend, and we moved it, and it worked, and it was amazing fun. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to just try to insert a pumpkin moving video as part of the October video, or I'm going to do a separate video, or whatever. But either way, it was documented. So if I'm going to put it somewhere, I would probably put it right about here,